Hi, I'm Rob West and I'm the Head of Education and Skills at the CBI.
Can we talk about systems leadership? And what does that mean to you?
I think it means three things really. The first part of it is collaboration and actually means a broad range of diverse stakeholders coming together. I think it means coalition. It means bringing together those that want to work together to be able to work together. And I think the third part is actually system insights, it's understanding what exactly it is that you're trying to do and who plays what role within it. I think those are the three tenets that I would use.
How can providers, so colleges, ITPs, and employers work more effectively together to drive organisational change but also economic success?
Yeah, well, I think the key to it is actually in partnerships. So it's identifying what are the shared goals and shared objectives that we've got. People essentially want to do and achieve the same thing, but they're looking at it from a different angle. So I think the real challenge is if you can identify how do we work together and why, then we've got something that's going to be quite useful. I think what happens often is that leaders change at the top of organisations. And when leaders change at the top of the organisation, something's just carrying on because that's the way it already has been. But you've forgotten to redefine why are we doing this in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes that leadership can change and it all just stops, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just how do we have that continual approach? Yeah, I love that. How can industry and leadership within FE and skills come together to have more employer engagement or employer enhancement? How can we make sure that we're delivering as a further education and skill set to what employers need and the employers get what they need? It's that bringing everyone together. How do we do that?
Yeah. I think, and this is speaking personally, I think we should drop the term engagement, because I think what happens in engagement is it becomes a tick list. Did we engage with employers? Yes, we spoke to X number of businesses, but actually did you partner with employers? And that requires you to know, well, what's in it for them? What's in it for the employers? And for employers to understand what's in it for the provider. So again, be absolutely clear as to what your objectives are and trust each other to be able to deliver what you're particularly good at delivering.
I suppose it's like going from engagement to marriage and then having a long-term marriage.
Well, yes, maybe. Yes, let's say a civil partnership rather than a marriage.
How can, thinking of longer-term relationships, how can everyone develop that trust to be able to build those longer-term relationships?
It takes time. I think that's the first thing. It's a long game to be able to do that, and it's a long game that unravels quicker than it takes to put together. So I think it's just actually knowing what each other does. There are very few FE college tutors that have got the time to go into industry, and that time needs to be made. Similarly, you'll find most local businesses will have an opinion about their local FE college or training provider, but very few may have even set foot inside it and know exactly what they do. So again, we're back to that idea of, do we understand what each other really does and what we really offer? Do we walk in each other's shoes a little bit more? Do we understand from their perspective why would they want to be involved in that? We're trying to make everybody fit into our agenda and forget to look at how can we solve these problems collaboratively.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you see it from, you've got an interesting role. So you've got employers chatting to you about different elements, large and small. You have government coming to you for advice. You have educators and leaders in further education and skills asking. What do you think needs to better bring everyone together to better develop that system change for those, not just the skills needs of the now, but the future?
Trust, I would say. I don't think the government trust business. I don't think the government necessarily trust providers. I don't know that all providers trust business. I don't know that business trusts all providers. So for me, it's how do you get to that element of actually trusting people to be able to do it. We stick frameworks and regulatory ideas around things that just offer barriers. If we remove those barriers, would it enable things to happen?